Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Savannah Marshall over Zoom. Last Zoom call of the day for you, Savannah. I'm sure it's been a tough one for you.
It's been quite quick, to be fair.
Lucky you. So I mean, obviously you're under the Boxer/Sky banner now. How excited are you to get going again in just a couple of weeks until you're back in the ring?
Really excited. I'm happy that straight away signed with Boxer and they've got me straight out. Obviously back up in the North East in Newcastle. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to bits about that.
How important was it for you to get out straight away? Obviously, it's been a bit stop-start over the last 2 years, but to get out and show what you're made of straight away is a big opportunity.
Yeah, because I was meant to be on one of the fight camp bills. So really, I'd already done a full camp. So I had a full camp. That fell through. I had a couple of weeks off and then I'm straight back into another camp. So really, at least I'm, getting a fight.
Yes, I mean, how long has the camp been leading up to this one then? Assuming it's just gone straight through from when you were supposed to fight until in a couple of weeks.
Forever. It's a constant camp with Peter. There's never no, I'm in camp or we're just constantly in the gym, to be fair. Not constantly training flat out, but constantly learning.
Yeah, I think we all know that about Peter. In terms of training with Peter and obviously Huey in there, we spoke to Huey the other day. He says it's like a family down in that gym. Is that sort of something you'd echo in saying it's like a family down in the Fury gym at the moment?
Yeah, it is. I've been with Peter now for about 4 years, so I've been training alongside Huey for that long. And it is. It's because, we see each other, twice a day for a few hours. So it's, I probably see and speak to Huey more than what I do with my own family. So it becomes like a second family.
Yeah, and obviously going back up to the Northeast, how much are you looking forward to be back in front of fans? Because it's been so long, and to have a home crowd there must be really exciting.
I am excited. I'm really excited for the fact that I was lucky enough to have 2 fights during lockdown. Some people haven't even boxed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice for my family and friends to finally, be able to see me box because they haven't seen me fight as a world champion yet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what can you tell us about your opponent as well? Lolita Mazoya, if I'm pronouncing that right, unbeaten, obviously 16-0. She doesn't know how to lose. Could be a tough test.
Yeah, she doesn't. She's a bit of a knockout artist as well. She's not stopped 8 of her opponents. She's tall, she's big like me. Obviously a big puncher. And I'm expecting a tough fight from Lolita.
And she's obviously not fought outside of Africa. Do you think that's something that could play in your hands? You know what it's like to fight in front of a big crowd and obviously in the UK?
I'm not really relying on that, but I think that a lot of her opponents have been below her level. But people might say that about me. So it's one of them things, I can't really rely on that.
Yeah. And just in terms of being with Sky and obviously not being with Eddie and Matchroom anymore, do you feel like those big fights are now a little easier to make? And do you have belief that they all come in the next couple of years while you're with Sky and Boxer?
Yeah, I do. It just goes to show, obviously I signed with Boxer, Sky, and then within 2 weeks they'd signed Claressa. So now more than ever that fight's closest what it's ever been to being made.
You say obviously yourself and Chris are now not far away from each other. Do you feel like that could be next should you get the win in a couple of weeks' time?
Maybe not next. I know that they're looking to put us both on the same bill and build it that way, but hopefully early next year.
Yeah, obviously it's a super fight of women's boxing. You're against Claressa Shields. Do you feel like the build is something that's got to be important? It's got to be done as big as any other fight in the UK?
Yeah, 100%. That's what it's all about, because I do know that there's people are interested and want to see that fight, but that fight can be made into a global fight, and that's what we both want.
And how much have you? Sorry.
The push with Sky and obviously Boxer, I believe it'll get there.
How much have you seen sort of the growth of that? Because people have been calling for it for years now, but I'm sure there's many more people want to see it now. as there were 3 years ago, because it's the women's boxing and boxing as a whole in many areas has grown so much.
A lot of people, I get a lot of people messaging about it, when's the Claressa's fight happening, and I was one of them that never knew boxing was such a business. I thought fights were easily made. I thought it was easy, do you know, to box for this title, box for that title, but it's really not like that at all. And fights need building, and they need a big push behind them. And this is the reason why I've signed with Boxer Sky.
Yeah. And just finally, I saw you briefly at the Josh Warrington fight a couple of weeks ago in Leeds. Looked like you're having fun down there, but what did you make of the main event and how it ended?
I was devastated for Josh, absolutely devastated. But I see it as a bit of a blessing. I thought Josh was very tense. I know that it was only, 2-3 rounds deep, but I thought he was very, very tense, very stiff. And it's hard being like that when you've got 12 rounds to go. You know, it takes it out. Yeah, but look, I think it's a bit of a blessing.
Do you feel as if that had continued, and obviously without the head clash, that it would have been a tough night at the office for Josh?
Yeah, I do. I really do. But at least now there's no point in them. Why would you want to build that fight up again? That's what I'm saying about it being probably a blessing in disguise. I think now we should probably push on to maybe Keith Galahad or Lee Woods, because they can be just as big as fights because they're both British.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Savannah. Much appreciated, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.